Tonight, Joe learns about the Audi A4. Ryan realizes the connection between Haku and the furry community. And Dekos is not here. This week, it's another two-man pod. Me and Joe.
It is.
I'm Ryan. You're a bit delayed on that one, Joe. I was expecting you to do it.
I thought you were going to say something else. I was waiting.
No, Cameron is busy losing the fuel cap of his car and going on adventures trying to find that around the place where he may or may not live.
Doors right now.
Dekos is still dead, presumably.
He's MIA at the moment.
No one's heard from him in weeks.
It's actually quite worrying.
I suspect he might have been captured by pirates.
God damn Dekos, man. I knew it.
Anyway, let's jump straight into our first segment, shall we? Less morbid about Dekos being dead and more about the dead words of Joe's logline.
Wow. Actually, to be fair, I think I've whipped something up quite nice last minute here. I've really poured in what I took away from the movie into mine.
Take it away, Ernie.
Here we go. From the mesmerizing danceability of the radish spirits and questionable cannibalistic qualities of some of the bathhouse employees, this movie will be sure to take you on a non-stop Studio Ghibli extravaganza. Plus, it's the only film that can get away with the love interest being revealed as a river.
I'll be honest, during your logline, I went on Letterboxds and started trying to find...
No, I actually just wrote that. That's why, it's because it's terrible. You can tell I wrote it.
They're falling in love with a river. It's also a dragon.
It is a kind of a weird... It's such an odd reveal because they big up his name, and I couldn't even remember that part of the movie, and I've seen this film before, and then they're bigging up for the reveal, reveal his name, and then it's like, your name is something river. It's like, oh, he's not even a real boy. He's not a real boy. He's a river, goddammit.
He's a river that got fucking concreted over for like a housing development.
That's why he's pissed.
Right. Anyway, my logline. I've been more creative this week. I was thinking, right, this is a Japanese film.
Mm-hmm.
What is something short that's Japanese? Haiku. So I called this a haiku for Haku.
Oh wow.
That is the best bit of it, honestly. That is like the...
Wait, was that it?
No, so this is the actual haiku. Okay. Dragon Boy Haku, flying through the sky so high, savior of the...
Savior of the what?
Then.
Why did you say it like that? Why have you said it like that? They never say it like that in the film.
Then.
Why are you saying it like that? Senpai.
No, just Sen.
Oh, right.
My alternates were she's just Sen. But...
Oh, that's so good. That's so much better. I mean, I like the idea you haiku.
That's not, but he's just Sen is only free, so it doesn't work. I'd have to rewrite an entire half of the fucking song. I'm not doing...
No, but your logline could have just been, he's just Sen. I'm just
He's Haku, she's just Sen.
I mean, I like the haiku was dreadful, but I mean, I appreciate the link there. Right, anyway.
Points.
It is.
Honestly, they're both so dog shit. But this is 2 weeks in a row where it's a two-man pod, right?
Double point.
So for showing up, we both get a point. You get a Haku and I get a Sen.
It's a match made in heaven.
Match made in heaven. And there we go. We've definitely not cheated for the first time in Logline Showdown. And given each other.
It's a work of art.
Oh no.
What happened?
We've been caught.
We've been caught?
We've been caught.
What
What do you mean?
Oh,
The
I
tower
see ya!
top.
What are you doing?
Nothing,
Oh,
nothing, man. Nothing.
Cameron, welcome to the podcast.
well, what's happening?
No, we've just done
Nothing. It
our
was just a
logline
very
showdown.
normal logline. Yeah,
Yeah,
just normal
just got
logline
our
showdown.
points. Just put our points in, man. Don't
We
worry
didn't even
about it.
need the wheel.
Yeah, we came to a nice decision.
Do
This
you give yourself both points?
No.
No,
Do you both have points?
No.
it's
Do
1
you take away
point.
my point?
You don't have a
You
point.
didn't have a point.
No, I do it. Oh shit, you're right. Yeah, I don't.
You've lost them all from last season. It's a season 2.
Wait, Ryan, quick,
Two.
move on to the next section while Cameron's here.
Next slide. Yeah, movies. Let's talk about the movie. Cameron,
Ah,
what did you
Cameron.
think about? What did you think now that you hear about Spirited
Ah,
Away?
yeah, Spirited Away. You know, it was just watching those spirits.
Have you actually never seen it?
He's seen it. He's rated it, hasn't he?
No, I rated A Cat Returns, which I would recommend you guys watch. By the way, it's a
No.
Oh my god! Wait, that's fucking Decos. No, that's Jason. What the fuck?
yeah.
I did actually try and recruit Jason for this episode.
Right, we got a
What do you guys
podcast
think of
to do.
Spirited Away, huh?
Yeah, Cameron.
What? I'm asking about the film. What did you guys think of Spirited Away?
You're not the host anymore. There's a new sheriff in town.
Ah, fine.
Well,
I'll go.
What do you think of the film, Joe? Let's just fucking
I-
rip the band-aid off.
I enjoy it. I've seen it a few times. It's one of my favorite animated anime style films.
You were trying not to throw up when you said that.
Yeah, because I'm not really normally for me. But you know what? Because it's just just a very good like story and film, and it looks like, I mean, all Studio Ghibli films look amazing. I mean, it's kind of a cheat code really, because the problem is that the films look so good, and like the characters are normally like so fucking like bizarre and completely like nothing you'll ever get on any other type of film. Like that kind of film with CG would be awful. You know, it'd be horrendous. You can't do it. It has to be done animated, and it looks so good that it doesn't really matter what the fuck's going on. Because I mean, the story's quite simple, really. Now I know that there's
Yeah, I would
there is
agree.
there is a lot. I know that there is a lot that people talk about when they like look into it more. I think there is a lot of when you dig into the story and the characters, you can learn a lot.
It's less, I would say, about the story and more about the characters and their journey. So the story
Yeah.
sort of takes a back foot over the
Because the
It's about
story's
the
quite
characters
all over. Like,
progressing.
if you actually like look at it just from a perspective of, you know, start to finish story, it's quite all over the place, really. You know, she enters the world, and you know you're introduced to like Haku and the witch and all this sort of stuff. And then you've got like the plot line of the river spirit that's covered in mud. And then you've got the plot line of No Face. And then you've got the plot line of Haku
Yeah.
stealing the golden seal, which is never mentioned until he's done it. Then you've got the plot line, and there's so many different things going on, but it doesn't really matter. Like it all kind of works and helps the story move on. I mean, because you would have thought realistically that, you know, she was so distraught about what had happened at the start of the film that you think she'd be doing everything she can to get her parents to get out of there straight away, but she's quite content going on these like side missions all the time. She gets quite invested in the world, so then you kind
Yeah,
of like,
man,
oh
the side quests are often better than the main story, you know? Like,
yeah, it's true. But the film just looks amazing. The No Face character is such like an iconic Studio Ghibli character as well now.
the one, like the crying mask sort of thing.
Yeah, I mean, a
Actually,
bizarre
yeah.
plot line, but
Yeah,
I
it just
mean,
sort of shows up and then
yeah,
eats a frog and then
that's
becomes a
what I'm
frog.
saying. Like, because he's never like intentionally really bad, and he doesn't really apply much to the grand scheme of things. Like whether or not he appears and destroys the bathhouse does not does not change the fact that in the end Haku steals the golden seal and then she has to return it and blah 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 blah, and then like she saves Haku. It's a very like plot line that just stands by itself, but it is pretty good. I enjoyed it. Just seeing him like tear up the bathhouse and eat the frog and like steal his voice.
I would actually like to bring it back just ever so slightly to your
Go
point
on.
of the CG 3D Ghibli sort of films, because I believe there is one that exists, and that's from Miyazaki's son,
Oh God.
who is a deranged fucker who needs to be stopped.
Tried to be trendy. Took the Studio Ghibli entitlements, tried to be trendy and cool, and just ruined it.
I mean, no, it's shit. Like he's like one of his first films is like a cutesy romance where he just tosses in there for no reason, like the subplot that the two main characters could be related, even though they're not. And it's
Right.
like it's literally just some like random ass shit. Like you two could be brother and sister, like in the middle of the film, and it serves no purpose other than to just be like, Goro Miyazaki, you're a fucked cunt. Like, you need help, lad.
He's trying, man. He's trying. He's got a lot to live up to.
I would also say as well, I think it almost feels like a staple of Hayao Miyazaki films that there just isn't really a cohesive plot, almost.
Yeah, but you know what? I think
Or like at least the plot is very thin. I mean, I'm looking. I mean, I've seen all of his feature-length films, and I'm just looking at the list right now. And like, just off the top of my head, The Boy and the Heron vibes A+, plot, don't know. Ponyo, once again, plot is a bit lacking. My Neighbor Totoro is essentially plotless, but that plays in its favor. Howl's Moving Castle collapses in the third act.
you know what
Like,
though. It's like, but like I was saying, like with these
even Kiki's
films,
Delivery Service is like very just character focused, and not really a lot happens.
yeah, but it's like with these films, I don't think it matters. Like the stories are very simple and quite, but it's the worlds that they build in these movies that keep you engaged. You know, I was
Through that.
quite like, especially in Spirited Away. You know, they've got a bathhouse with numerous amounts of spirits and all that. Like, if we had just seen Chichiro or Sen, if we did,
Chihiro.
yeah, it's not Chichiro, it's Chihiro. If we did,
Sen.
if we'd have just seen her like go like start working at the bathhouse and get out straight away and just try find her parents and blah blah. Like with these random subplots, we get to see a bit more of the world, and I think that's what keeps you like locked in. Like we didn't need to see the no-face terror at the bathhouse, but we got to see a cool ass fucking spirit do some like just fuck shit up for a bit. This was like a random plot in the movie.
But
But
not. I don't think it serves absolutely no purpose, because it serves no purpose towards the plot, but it serves a purpose towards the characters. And
yeah,
in
it's
this
true.
case, Sen, the film is essentially, when you actually strip it back, then actually remove or even just all of the, you go actually straight to the very start of the film, right, where they're moving into a new house. You know,
Yeah.
the point of it is that at the start, Sen, the Chihiro, is very scared of moving to this new area,
Yeah.
this new place, and the parents sort of having to reassure her they'll all be fine. And at the end, when they're leaving, literally says it in plain English if you were watching the dubbed version. I think I'll be fine. Like
Yeah.
when they
Well,
get
we
out
don't actually
when they
know.
get out of the theme park, or whatever it is, and leave. You basically the whole film for her and journey is she's sort of shy and not confident. She almost, it's a coming of age film, which
Yeah,
is
no, it is.
very prominent across most of Miyazaki's films.
Mm.
Frankly, it's always. I mean, I just look at Kiki's Delivery Service. That's a coming of age story. My Neighbor Totoro, in a way, also is. Same with Ponyo. Even I think Nausicaa, to an extent, is kind of that way.
Mm. Yeah, no, I
So
get it's true.
even though the plot isn't, the
I mean,
best,
the biggest
it's
thing with the plot is that I think if you take a second to have a look at the end, I mean, we don't know what the fuck happened in the end. I mean, you know, when they
name a fucking. Once again, this is another fucking Miyazaki hallmark. Okay, the endings are very open in his films.
Yeah, but I'm talking about like I think they threw us a curveball at the end of this film. I don't think it's talked
Really?
about enough. Yeah, because they finally go. She's with her parents again. She's out, and then they discover, and the parents, it's been like only minutes, but then they discover that the car's covered in branches, and even
Yeah.
though it's never
Right.
explicitly stated, it's very obvious that they're trying to say that actually the time that's passed for Chihiro has passed in real life. Bro, they could have lost the house by that point. We don't really know how long she was in there for.
They didn't pay the fucking rent.
That's what I'm saying. Like, did the movers just deliver the stuff and then leave the house? I mean, does the car still work? Who knows?
No, the car did work. It's an
Was
Audi. All right, it's very resilient.
how do we know that
German
she wasn't
engineering, bitch.
how do we know that she wasn't meant to start school the next day? She could be kicked out of class already. Their lives might be over. We don't know. They might go back to her life when everything's collapsed, and then she runs away back into Spirited Away land. I mean, we need a second movie here.
Are
Telling
you
you,
Are you suggesting, right, some
they might
sort
be having
of?
financial crisis.
Are you suggesting some sort of Thanos snap-esque event has happened to them,
Yeah.
where they
Well,
have now come back?
it's true though. They came back and time had passed, and the parents had no idea. They didn't seem too bothered. He was like, "Oh, the car's rather dusty." Hmm. And I
I
mean,
don't know, maybe whilst they're in there, Dirty Mike and the boys got in that bad boy. You don't know.
but hey, Granny,
Granny,
Granny and
do
the
you want?
baby. But no,
Right, what is your
sorry,
point?
sorry,
Granny and the baby. Where are
sorry.
you going with this,
I
man?
don't know. It's an iconic part of the film. It's like Granny and the baby, a baby that threatens to break her arm. I mean,
Oh yeah, what? That's a fucking vicious
she's a
baby.
vicious lion. Play with me or I'll break your arm.
Um,
Jesus Christ.
I
Seven
assume you
sequels.
did. You watch the Disney dub
Yeah,
version?
I watched. It was on Netflix, or it might have been
Ah,
on Disney. I watched the
it's one
English
that
one.
Netflix have
I watched the dubbed
most.
one.
I want to say most of them. Yeah, I'm not.
I just wanted
I
to watch
think
it in dubbed. I think I've only ever seen it in dubbed. I've never watched the actual in its actual language.
I will say this about Miyazaki's films is that I think that like the dubs are all done by Disney, so they're actually good quality.
Yeah, the dubs are really good.
And so much of his films is the visuals. So you're kind of by watching it in the Japanese, you're kind of losing more than you're gaining by just hearing it
Yeah.
in the native
Well,
language.
because
Like
I've seen.
it's good enough.
Yeah, well, I think the dubs be really good in this one, especially because I've only ever seen the English one. I've seen this film a handful of times, and when I think of the characters and stuff like those voices, the voice actors, their performances are what I like hear, like it's what I remember from the movie.
Yeah.
Like like the witch and her twin sister, and Chihiro and all of that. Like I think the dubbed is very well done. Now I haven't watched the original in the Japanese, but you know what? I don't think I need to with this. I don't listen to it and go, I bet I would have heard more passion or better voice acting if I'd listened to it how it's meant to be listened to rather than listen to
Yeah,
it
because you
dubbed.
don't really get the tone either of a foreign language
No,
is the
exactly.
issue. Like, especially like Japanese when it's
It's
quite
just it's just a
very
really
different to English.
enjoyable film. Like I can't there's not really any negatives. It looks great. The story is it's not the most important element, but the stuff that goes on is engaging. It's not like you're getting bored. Like
Right.
with such a world that they create, you want to try see as much of it as you can, and I think they cram quite
Yeah,
a
that's
lot
what
of
I
it.
mean. It's like the artwork and being able to like look at the film as opposed to
Yeah,
read it
and
almost.
I think as well, like the story, like the actual just main story is simple enough that they can add other stuff that might go genuine like unnoticed if the story was really complicated that leaves you thinking like you wanting to know more. Like I know this sounds I'm rambling here, but what I'm trying to get at is that the scene with the train, like the
Yes.
passengers on the train and the ghost, like we're never told who they are. or what they're doing, or are they, because they're like see-through, so you would assume with the rules of the world, the spirit realm, they haven't eaten the food. Like they're just on this train. There's no explanation as to, the train's only one way. Like, where the fuck
Yeah,
is
man.
everyone
Train
going?
strikes.
Yeah, well, but you're not given really any explanation about this, and these people look human. They don't look like spirits. They're wearing little like trench coats and like fedoras and got little briefcases. And we don't know who these are. Are these like the spirits of humans? Who knows? Maybe is the train like taking you to the fucking spirit realm? I don't know. But they leave it, and then you can just look back on it and go, "Oh, I wonder what the fuck was going on there." There's
I
more
will
to
say to
be
that point
discovered.
that scene actually has a purpose, which is very cool.
Go on.
So the whole point of that train scene is to give the viewer a breather because it comes directly after the scene where No Face chases
Yeah.
through the
Why do you keep
bathhouse.
saying it like that?
What do you mean? There's no. I keep saying normal.
Right. Okay. Carry on.
But yeah, you have this very intense moment, and essentially the whole point of it is that you can just sit back, relax for a moment, reflect on what's happened, and it just slows down the pace of the film, makes it nice and chill. Everything's all right.
Yeah, it
Like
does do it very well. You do feel like you've got a brief moment with the characters, like to just sit and
yeah,
be.
as well. Sit and relax. There's like nothing really going on.
Mm,
No worries.
it's got no face, just like chilling. All
It's
he
just
wanted was some friends, man. That's what I took away from it. All he wanted was some friends, and as soon as he started realizing that if he could give people something that they wanted, that he was getting the attention.
Could be fucking 8 people.
Huh?
Could be 8 people.
Yeah, because he got mad, but you have to think like, so he got
And he
let
tries
in.
it, and then like Sen, when Sen was like, "No, I don't want your money," he tried to eat Sen as well.
Yeah, because he was mad, but he was delusional in the bathhouse. Again, no explanation as to why. We don't really know. I mean, there's no explanation about his character in general, to be honest.
It's a magical world, Joe. You don't need to
No,
understand
I
the
know,
magic.
no,
You
but
just have to feel the magic.
that's my point. It's like, he's a spirit. Why couldn't he just go into the bathhouse normally? He had to be let in through a back door and then start causing chaos. Like, was he evil? No,
Maybe it's like
because he knew how
maybe
to
it's like
knit.
one of those fuck spirits where it's like you have to let them in or
Maybe.
something. So it's like fine
But
until you let them in.
how can he be overarchingly evil if he knows how to knit?
I have no answer because obvious reasons.
Exactly.
name
Yeah,
name one movie villain who knits.
no face. I wonder how many. I wonder if you looked it up now, how many movie villains knit. There's definitely like a spy film villain that's seen knitting, I'm sure. Anyway, tangent.
Tangent. I mean, that's the point. We tangent, baby.
What did you think overall?
I loved the noises of the Audi and nothing else.
Why did he bomb it down that road? Is one thing I've never understood.
Why? But
He just
because
bombed it
genuinely,
there.
right? They actually like the. I think Miyazaki was like, "I love the sound of the Audi," and so recorded a bunch of sounds of the Audi.
He just needs to go fast. This is
And
one
there
of
was like, I want to show off that this is like the accurate sound of the car going down
he
a
likes it,
fucked
hasn't he?
lane. He likes it.
This is one of the first films as well that I've seen in a long time where the roles have been reversed and actually the kid is the only person that has any sort of sense and the parents are the ones being fucking stupid. Normally the common trait is that the kids always do something dumb and get everyone else in shit. But this time it was the
Wobble,
fucking parents.
indeed.
Scoffing their faces, becoming like pigs,
Oink oink.
the metaphor. Which actually brings me on to something that I brought up in my logline. Now, again, with the lack of context, who knows who really cares? However, in the bathhouse, you've got the spirits that actually look like spirits. Now, I'm going to assume that the human ones also are spirits that just look human. But what are the rules with that? Like there were some that look kind of human, but then like Chihiro's the lady that took her in, She was very much human, though. We're going to assume she was, or at least at one point was human. But is she now a
Right.
spirit? I don't know.
Yeah, because she's been spirited away.
Yeah, I guess well, that's what I'm assuming. So I guess there are humans that work there, just like Haku was a human. Well, no, he said he was a human. He wasn't a human, actually, wasn't he? But that woman seemed very much like she probably was a human that got work. Now, are you trying to tell me they also eat the pigs that are humans, that they turn into pigs? So are they humans eating humans in the bathhouse? Now, I will say though, I do remember very vividly the first time I watched this movie as like a young child, and that
A
scene when
little
the
joke.
parents become pigs was actually quite fucking traumatizing. The
I
way
honestly
Lalo
think this whole fucking
squeals.
film must be like it's like traumatic for a kid.
It
Because
is, bro.
I remember seeing this as a kid on like TV and just being like, "What the fuck?"
But especially just the
'Cause it's
whole pig part is quite
like,
dark, to be honest. Turning the parents
like
into pigs.
not even the pig part. Fucking
Just,
Yubaba.
but they just start slapping her dad as a pig with a spatula. Do you remember?
Oh yeah, but that's because that fucking pig wants to stop pigging
Yeah,
himself.
I know, but it's like, and he just starts like squealing and like falls on it. Bro, it's traumatizing. Like, poor girl is like fucking crying her eyes out. God. Anyway, you got anything else to say about the movie?
Oh, okay. A point about Haku. Point about Haku.
Okay.
Right. So, is it just me, or can the furries be traced back to Haku and then?
What are you Why are you doing it? Like, why is going on? I don't know if I'm getting the joke that you're trying to push
You
here.
are not getting the joke. It's like a very, very few fucking people will get the joke.
Well, why? There's no need. It's unnecessary, then, isn't it?
It's necessary because I'm saying Glenn, so I have to
Then,
say it.
right, okay. Sad.
Right. But like, come on, man. She's like in love with a fucking little dragon boy who's like
Who's
kind of
also a
his,
river.
his aesthetic is that of a wolf. Let's be honest,
Yeah, and
right?
he's also a river.
And this came out in 2001. A lot of like people will have grown, people who are now furries, right? Sort of that.
Oh,
I'd say that like
furries.
very. I'd
I thought
say
you said
that
fairies.
like for the sake of that 18 to 30 sort of demographic, right? Where that's sort of where the furries are at right now. These fuckers were influenced by Spirited Away. Like,
But he's a
I'll tell
river.
you what, he's a river.
The
So
spiraling.
yeah, a Whisker. This fucking film is actually this film is unironically to blame for a Whisker Away, and I think that works against it. Like, is its biggest downside. Because a
Do
whisker
not
away is
compare
literally
this movie to
a
a
whisker.
whisker
No, a
away.
whisker away is literally a reference to a Spirited Away.
I don't want
It's
to
in the
know.
name because there's like spirits and shit in a whisker away, and they go to like the pussy tree.
Stop, you're ruining the film for me.
I know I am, but like,
I don't want to.
come on, man.
I don't want to live in a world where Whisker Away and Spirited Away in the same universe. All right, please.
You were asking for a sequel. The monkey paw cowed.
No. It's just when Chicho is like, you smell like
Yeah.
sunshine.
That's like the delete.
You
There's like
smell like
one
the river.
delete. There's fucking one deleted scene, and it's you smell like sunshine.
Imagine like if this film was like made in the UK and you just got some like teenage girl like lusting over the River Thames.
God, you smell like fucking pollution and shit. You must be the River Thames.
Ah, you remembered my day.
My name.
Right.
A Victorian child shat in me once, and
God. Okay, let's
I
move
don't
on.
know what go with
I'm
it.
spiraling. It's
Let's
late
move
at
on.
night on a Sunday again. Effects.
And
I mean,
there's
we've
only
already
two of us.
spoke a little bit about it. It is a beautiful film. The
This
art
very
style
pretty
is
animation.
is very pretty, and I love how these films incorporate both like the 2D animation and then like some 3D type um CGI type effects in it to
Well,
build
no, I
loads
will
of tension.
say not my favorite looking Ghibli or
But
anime.
I isn't. But your favorite ones are older than this, are they not? With they have their own kind of style to them now as well.
This is like number like 2 or 3 for me. My favorite is Totoro just because
But
it's like
Totoro's are much older, so in itself,
in the
without
80s.
yeah, so in itself, without even realizing, just because the
Not
art styles, it's got
it's
similar
only
to
it's only
yours.
about 10 years before this.
I know, but you can
So it's not
tell
actually that
that
far out.
it's older though, and it kind of gives
Slightly, but I
it
feel
doesn't.
like
No, and I'm not saying it makes it look. I'm saying that like it adds a different layer to like the animation style that gives it like a unique look. That I understand why you could like it a bit more than
but
this.
what I feel with my neighbor Totoro, almost like the background in a lot of it feels like kind of reminds me of like a Monet painting, where it's quite
Yeah,
like very like
yeah.
watercolory.
Well, that's because probably they
But
were.
Spirited Away kind of doesn't do that.
Mm.
And even like, and there's like even like newer anime now that looks nicer. Like Your Name is probably like the big one that looks very good. From and like Suzume, that
I
also looks very good
I do want
compared
to
to this.
watch The Boy and the Heron. I haven't got around to seeing it yet.
The Boy and the Heron. It's
Hey-o.
about a boy and the heroine.
Right. Oh, that's what the film
The
was
boy,
called.
the boy and the heroine.
I think I downloaded the wrong movie, guys. The Boy and the Heroine. God, it's like that
It's just fucking.
Leonardo
It's just fucking.
DiCaprio
That's
film.
train spine. That's train spine.
No, it's just that Leonardo DiCaprio film with that
What?
fate. You not see? I can't remember what. Diary of a what is it? Basketball Diaries or something. You not seeing that?
No. What?
Well, what's it
I'm
called?
looking this
Is
up.
it like Basketball Diaries or?
The basket. Oh my god! It is.
Yeah, it's Leonardo DiCaprio playing like a teenager that's like actually a heroin addict, and it's got that famous scene where he's like crying to his mother from like the other side of the door. Anyway, the boy and
Right.
that is the boy and the heroine.
I was thinking about fucking. Not aware of train spotting.
No, of course I know Trainspotting.
Yeah, that's the boy and the heroine.
That's
There's
the
also
boys and heroine.
the boys and the just the boys and some heroin. You know, like.
Um,
For effects, the Audi. No, we already talked about the Audi going hard.
the Audi did go hard. I just think like
Um,
the I mean the art style is always very similar to the Ghibli, but it just works so well. Like everything looks very grand, and even though it's like an animation.
yeah, it's all very well
And
done.
I appreciate like they obviously went put time into creating these different spirits and stuff. Some that you might only see for like a few seconds, but every character is so unique and different. Like the fucking radish spirit. Like he was only in there for the sake of being called the radish spirit, but I loved him.
So you got a radish finish,
But yeah, you not see him dancing,
kinda, but like
bro. The radish spirit dancing was fucking hot.
Let's move on. Move on. Oh, get off fucking radish fish. Like
Milky goat and horny stove. It's hard
this
to
is like
it's hard to
this is
do though
hard.
for anime. Well, it's hard to do because you're just going off voice
A
acting.
we're going off voice acting, and B, Letterboxd doesn't actually have the English cast, so I'm gonna have to go on IMDb and find who the
Does it
fuck the
not?
English cast was. They do not. Who the fuck? DeVay Chase apparently voiced Chihiro in the English version. Oh my god, these are like weirdly actually not that famous people.
Well, no, because they're
John
just
Ransom.
voice actors, aren't they?
Wait, there's John Ransomberger. I recognize him. What's he in? Cheers. He was fucking Cliff in Cheers, and he was a ham in Toy Story. Yeah, not like actually no, because usually in the Disney dubs they actually have quite a famous person, like Robert Pattinson's in The Boy and the Heron English version.
Well, I will say that one of my favorite characters in the movie, and I think the voice suited it perfectly, was Kamaji. So,
Crude at.
in that case, apparently he was voiced by a guy named David Ogden Stiers.
I will have to
So,
agree with
I'm
you
gonna
there.
put him because Kamaji was a great character, and the voice is just,
I'm
it's one you remember.
I'm actually gonna go for my goat as not even a voice actor in the film, but as a composer, Mr. Joe Hisaishi.
Music was good.
Like the music in Ghibli films always fucking goes hard, dude. It's so good, and it's always this one fucking guy who just constantly doesn't get nominated for like best song at the Oscars, even though he's like just produced bangers.
For my stoke, I feel bad giving those. I don't think there's actually a single person that really did a terrible job at voice acting. As like we said earlier, I think the English version is actually really well done. But I'm gonna say the baby, and it was voiced by Tara Strong, only because when you first meet the character of the baby and then hear it have like a fully like adult speaking voice, I find it quite unsettling. And so I'm
Would
just
you
gonna.
would you rather it be a woo a little baby
No,
baby?
you just assume that it
Oh
can't speak, and
whoa.
then you're thrown into like, I'll break your arms. I mean, it was good, but like, it was just unsettling. I don't know. I don't have a stoke really.
Another stoat. You're stoatless.
Maybe the frog. The frog's voice was annoying. It worked better when it was eaten and it was No Face's voice.
I'm gonna go for Tara Strong, based only on the fact that they did additional voices on the Minions movie. Um, they apparently played Mainframe in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. They were in the Emoji movie. They've done some fucks like extra
Apparently
work.
she was the voice of Ben 10
Oh my
from
god, what?
2005 to 2008.
But that makes it easy to make her go because I never watched Ben 10. So
Right. Anyway, yeah, that's my guess though. It's a hard one to do. Right. Are we happy with
move
that?
on.
Yeah, let's fly through this now. Ah, we're on to the scoring.
The easy bit.
Well,
Mr. Joe, you're at the bottom. You can take number one.
um, well, to be honest, I think we're probably looking at another A-tier film, but I can't. I told myself that this year I was going to be more judgmental and at least hold the S tier to a more like supreme standard.
Right.
But I'm not an anime person, okay? But I have seen this film also. I love this film. It's just a great film. It's a feel-good film. And I don't know, man. I feel like I want to put it in S tier because I've got nothing bad to say about it, really. And I will happily like watch this again and like in like next year or if somebody said to me, "Oh, we're watching Spirited Away," I'd be like, "Yeah, I'm down to see that." So I don't know. I think I might have to I think you're not gonna put it in S tier. And if you put it in A, I'll be happy to move it to A. But I just want to
Right.
have it on the record that I'm gonna put it in S tier movie.
Well, throwing a little wrench into your works of you're thinking I was not going to put an S tier. I'm going to put an S tier, baby.
Oh damn. Okay, so now I feel good that I did put it in A. Wow.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
this is just like
It
an
is a
incredibly
fantastic.
solid film.
Yeah.
There's almost nothing. There's very little you can criticize about it. I don't think it's like. I mean, if it was like hold the S tier to like 5-star only standard,
Yeah.
at
Yeah.
least for
No,
me,
I
that would
agree.
be ridiculously high. There's
Yeah.
like 10 films I've been
See,
like, yeah, that's a 5-star.
for
So
anybody listening, the S
yes,
tier is like the highest achievement that you can achieve on our like movie ranking. All right. This doesn't
no,
mean that.
it's overall.
No. 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 No.
This
No.
is
No. 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 No.
Joe.
No. 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 What I'm
Joe,
trying to
this
say
is
is,
the ranking.
oh, of the world.
This is the one. This is what they
Oh.
use.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Okay.
Spirited
This
Away
is why
better
we
than
used to be the
Oppenheimer.
worst movie podcast in the world. All right. And then we had to get rid of it because we're like a secret council. And with the power of movie magic, Spirited Away has found itself slapped straight in at S tier.
Our first
I'm sure
STR.
Cameron, first S tier of the year, I'm sure Cameron is very happy about that. I'm sure Decos probably actually is. Right, let's move on, shall we? To the best segment,
Ooh.
the only one people care about. What's to know with Joe? Where we get to know what Joe wants to know. Joe, what do you want to know?
What's to know with Joe? This is what I want to know. All right. As we briefly spoke about earlier, the car, the family car. First of all, I
Yeah,
want to know, do you know what car it was?
it's an Audi.
Which one, though?
This 1996 Audi A4 Quattro is unique and, as Akio Oginowo states, has a special all-wheel drive feature that allows them to take the old road in the first place. Although the car from the movie Spirited Away is grey, this colour is almost impossible to find in real life. It is said that the engine noises from the real Audi A4 1.8 were used in the making of the film. The car has the number 1901. Achihiro drove the car through Tochinoki to his family's new home. He parks the car in front of the red gate before entering with his family to the spirit realm. The car is a symbolism that the family has Western-oriented sense of consumption. This mentality is later on seen when the parents eating food at the stall. The car has a steering wheel on the left-hand side, as the car is imported from Germany. The number 12 on the windshield is the inspection sticker.
That was perfect. That is a perfect what's to know, Joe. I should have done that. Well done, right? You saved the section, honestly. I was like, that was like worst movie pod meets Top Gear, and it was beautiful. Well, I did want to know about that stuff, so I hope everyone else wanted to know about that stuff as well. We've just learned.
Well, it's about what you want to know, Joe, and
Yeah,
you know.
I wanted to know about the specs of the Audi A4. All right, after watching
No, specifically the background story of the Audi
Yes.
A4
See, there's so
in
much lore
Spirited
in this
Away.
movie.
I didn't realize it was a symbolism of Western values.
Well, there's lore in this film, all right.
The
We
law.
are an educational
That
podcast.
Audi single-handedly destroyed capitalism.
Right. Next week, Ryan, what are we watching?
Well, you guys are, and I'm being excluded.
Well, we don't know.
I'm being
Realistically, there's a good chance that Digos will say he's available Thursday, and then
doesn't
last
show
minute
up,
doesn't show up. So at some
and then
point in the coming week, what film are we going to be doing, Ryan?
we're gonna be doing Mean Girls, the 2004 version, because the one that they've done 20 years later is a bit shit.
Yeah, I will say though, I have seen the new one and will probably sprinkle in a few comments about the new one as well. It's kind of,
Go for
I
it.
feel like I'm gonna try. It's gonna be a bit of a Mean Girls extravaganza, a bit of both.
Yeah,
I've got a lot to say.
We've got Lindsay Lohan trying to join the popular girls at school.
Yeah.
There's people get hit by buses and shit.
Oh yeah, the biggest curveball in movie history, mate.
And Letterboxd really loves this film, so when we put it in like D tier, that'll be a whole thing.
You think it's sitting as high as D?
Maybe I probably would. Probably not with Cameron.
We'll have to see. It all goes down to who turns up on the day.
I feel like this is like a DCOS Dark Horse film. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like he'd secretly like love this shit. This is like his childhood.
Right.
Right. I
Final
mean,
slides.
that's it, isn't it for today?
That is it.
What am I questioning?
That is it. You want to do more?
No, it's 10:30. I want to go to sleep.
The late Sunday
thank
night
you.
pods.
It's a dreadful idea. We should definitely change the day to
Should definitely
less
carry on
cucks.
doing it on Sunday. Finish us. Finish it.
Right. Don't execute us. Thank you for watching. There's links in the description to our Letterboxd and the watch list of all the films we've done. Go look that shit. The socials, every other social's fucking gone because it's dead. comment.
Playlist.
Look, we're still doing the thing where comment and we'll do your movie. So fucking comment, even if it's just like Mia. All right, commenting some like shit Cillian Murphy like horror film. You know, you can subject
Especially
all
if
of us
it's
to it, not
Rabbit
just
Fever.
Joe. Rabbit Diva.
Rabbit Fever. You don't remember that from last week?
Rabbit Fever. Rabbit Fever.
I'm gonna
I
bring it
was
up every week until we watch it.
so you mentioned Diva, okay, and I got very excited for a moment in
Oh,
my
sorry.
silken Diva tracksuit.
Right.
All right. Yeah, like, subscribe, all that stuff, and hopefully you'll watch next week. Bye.
Bye.